So, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Michael, and what I want to say is today I'm going to be your presenter for this webinar. And the title of the of today's topic is called Sleeping Beauty. Now, hello, everyone. So, today my name is Michael, and I'm going to be your teacher for today. And today's topic is Sleeping Beauty. And if you can all hear me, I'd like you to type in yes, or you can say hello. Just a second. Okay, so I'll say regarding the last time when we all tried to when we tried to have a class, and so it was because of technical difficulties that we were all having. So I want to say I apologize for any inconvenience regarding the last time. And so today we're going to have a productive lesson. And one more thing is, all right. So, like I said, today's topic is Sleeping Beauty, and the lesson is free of charge for anyone who is going to ask. And this is a program, that was created by the school. All right. So, I want us to take a look at the picture. Can you all see the screen, the presentation?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Okay, I want us to take a look at the presentation, the topic. So if you can look at it carefully, it's called Sleeping Beauty. So there's a very cute girl, the picture, as you can see, she's sleeping. And today we're going to look at some common phrases. It's called this is vocabulary of some phrasal verbs. And this is talking about sleeping in English with meaning and some example with some sentences. The most common one, if you look at the first one, is it's wake up. And so when you wake up, it means you're stopping, you stop to sleep. And then we have, for example, talking about your sleeping habits. I often wake up at 6 a.m. You take a look at it. We have wake up. And then you look at the second one, and this is get up. Now, get up, it means you stop sleeping and you leave your bed. And that's what it means. And so, usually, now, common examples with get up, we had to get up at 4 and walk 12 hours. We had to get up at 4 and walk 12 hours. Another example of phrasal verbs that we have regarding sleep, we have lie down. Now, what does it mean? It means to rest on your back. Now we have, it says, he lay down on the sofa and soon fell asleep. He lay down on the sofa and soon fell asleep. Now we have another one, and this is sleep in. Now it means when you sleep longer than wanted. For example, you wanted to sleep for, let's say, 20 minutes, or you wanted to sleep for 30 minutes, and then you sleep past the time that you intended to sleep. So means sleep longer than wanted. Now we're going to look at the second page, and this is talking about sleeping examples. We usually sleep in on Sunday mornings. This is the sentence. We usually sleep in on Sunday mornings. Then you have another one. It means drop off. Now, when we talk about drop off, it's talking about, it says fall asleep easily. It means without intending to. Now, drop off, we use it to talk about when you're really tired and you're exhausted, you've been working really hard, then you just come back from work, you go home, and then you drop off. You just fall asleep. Once you just sit down on your sofa or anywhere in your house, and then you fall asleep, means drop off. Or when you go to work and then you start sleeping. So which is the example we have here? She kept dropping off at her desk sometimes. Then we have sleepover. Sleepover. Now, what does it mean? It means sleep at a friend's house. Now, for those of you who have friends, and then you go to your friend's place to spend the night. So we have an example. Are your friends sleeping over tonight? So this is sleepover. Like I said, it means sleep at a friend's house. Then we go to the next one. It's talking about lie in. Now, lie in, it means you stay in bed after the time you usually get up. So a very good example is sometimes when we wake up in the morning and the first thing that you do is you take your phone. Many of us that use social media, so you don't get up from bed, you just wake up, then the first thing you do is you grab your phone, you go to your IG account, you go to Facebook or whatever it is you're doing, and you're just sitting on your phone. So it means, lying. Wake up and then you stay in bed. Now, another example is it's a holiday tomorrow, so you can lie in. When you have weekend holidays, for those of you who don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, so you can wake up anytime, you just lying in bed, meaning stay in bed. Now, we're going to look at the next one. Is talking about stay up. Now, stay up, it means to go to bed later than usual. So an example is we stayed up half the night talking. We stayed up half the night talking. Say, for example, you have friends or you're talking with your family, with someone that you're living with, and so you stay past your bedtime, let's say past 10, 12 p.m., or even going to 1 or 2 in the morning, and you're talking. That's when you say we stayed up. Now we go to the next one. You have go off. Now it means ring. So, for example, many of us now we have alarm clocks on our phone. We use it to wake us up in the morning. We use it to remind us for something, or maybe you have some sort of appointment or event. So you say, I've set the alarm clock to go off at 6 a.m. Now we have sleep through. It means sleep continuously for a long time. The meaning is sleep continuously for a long time. Now we have the example. It means I slept right through till lunchtime. Now it means when just like I said earlier, you say, for example, you don't work during the weekends, and usually you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and then you decided that so today is your weekend or today is your off day, and then you just sleep right through. You sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours more. So, and you wake up at a time that is really comfortable for you. So we say I slept right through till lunchtime. And then you have a sleep on it. Now we use sleep on it. It's a very popular phrasal verb among English speakers. So it means to delay. It means you take your time making a decision until the following day. It means you don't to rush to make a decision. So usually you hear people, bosses, or maybe you have something important. You say, okay, I'm going to sleep on it, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. So that's the example. Sleep on it and we'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? And then you have doze off. Doze off. This means go to sleep, especially when you did not intend to. Go to sleep, especially when you did not intend to. This can happen anywhere. It has happened to all of us at some certain period of time. For example, you are at the office, you're at the university, and then you just you didn't notice when you just dozed off or you fell asleep, for a few minutes. This happens from time to time. So it means, sorry, I must have dozed off for a few minutes. So we're going to go through the example, some of the phrasal verbs that we talked about. So back to the first one. For those who are coming in, we have wake up. This is the most common phrasal verb. It means stop sleeping. So I often wake up at 6 a.m. And then you have a get up. It means stop sleeping, and then you leave bed. It means so we had to get up at 4 and walk 12 hours. Get up. I need to get up at 6 a.m. I need to wake up at 6 a.m. or I often wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. And then you have you have lie down. Now lie down, it means to rest. Rest on your back. And you have the example here. It says he lay down on the sofa and soon fell asleep. And then we talk about sleep in means to sleep longer than wanted. Okay, in order to talk about a few of the examples, we're going to engage in discussions. So I'm going to go through the list of names here. I'm seeing a lot of people. And okay, so can you all hear me? If you can hear me, just type in yes, just to be sure. Okay, perfect. So Daria, can you hear me? And say something. Sujik Daria. Just a second. So right now, I believe we can all talk and hear each other. Okay, so we're going to look at the second page. Now we're talking about sleep in. We usually say sleep in on Sunday mornings. So this is when you don't have anything to do and then you decide to rest and you stay in your bed. Hello? Hello? Yes, I can hear someone. So like as I was saying, sleeping is when you don't have anything to do and you just stay in bed, you're watching a movie on your computer or, you're just relaxing and lying down. And then we talk about drop off. Now, drop off, it means you fall asleep easily without intending to. So she kept dropping off at her desk sometimes. And this is when you go to work and then you're falling asleep at work, or you're at university, or you're somewhere and you're dozing off. Then we have sleep over. Now, phrasal verbs, one of the most interesting things about it is when you look at each of them, you might have done them when you were at lower levels of English, probably elementary or PI. And these are all verbs. But you see, for example, this is drop and you have off. Off is preposition. So the phrasal, the verb is, we put them together with the preposition. Drop off, sleep over, and so on. Then we talk about lie in. Now, lie in, it means to stay in bed after the time you usually get up. So let's say, for example, there's a holiday and or you're not working during the weekend, say Saturday or Sunday, then you decide to lie in. That's what it means. Lie in bed. And then you have stay up. Stay up. Now it means you're probably with your friends. They came over. They came to sleep over. Now let's say sleep over. They came to sleep over at your place, and these are people you haven't seen for a really long time, and you're so excited to talk, to chat with each other, and you stay up late past 12 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. And this is what it means, stay up late after night talking. And then we have go off, means break. Like I said earlier, it's talking about your alarm. We've set the alarm to go off at, let's say, 6 a.m. And all of a sudden, your alarm starts ringing at the time that you have fixed on your phone. We have sleep through. So it means to sleep continuously for a really long time. For example, I slept right through till lunchtime. That's what it means. So sleeping continuously. For example, you're meant to wake up at 6 a.m., but because you don't have anything important to do, so it means you can sleep longer for an extended period of time. And then we have a sleep on it. Sleep on it, it means delay making a decision until the following day. So it usually means when you have something important to decide, but you're not in a hurry to make a decision. And then you say, okay, I'm going to sleep on it, and then I'll make a decision the next day. That's what it means. So sleep on it, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Then we look at another one. It's talking about doze off. Doze off. It means go to sleep, especially when you did not intend to. That's what it means. So, for example, you say, sorry, I must have dozed off for a few minutes. That's what it means. And this is doze off means the same thing as drop off. There's some sort of similarities. And drop off, it means here, as you can see, fall asleep easily without intending to. And then you have doze off, go to sleep when you did not intend to. So there's similarities between two of them. So sorry, I must have dozed off for a few minutes. And then we look at the next one. This is where you have, just a second. Okay, I want you to take a look at this picture. You have phrasal verbs here. And this is talking about sleep. So you can see, just a second. As you can see an alarm clock. Wake up. That means stop sleeping or make someone stop sleeping. And I often wake up at 6 a.m. Some of us, we have alarm tunes that can be really annoying, and you don't want to wake up when our alarm clock starts going off. And then you have sleeping. Means sleep longer than wanted. As you can see, this guy on a hammock is dozing off. We usually sleep in on Sunday mornings.
Sorry, Michael.
Yes.
Could you turn off the microphone of the students?
Okay, just a second. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so we'll continue. I believe the mic has been turned off. So I want you to take a look at drop off. And you have drop off. It means, as you can see, the man, this guy on his desk, he's dozing off already. So fall asleep easily without intending to. So she kept dropping off, but it should be he kept dropping off at his desk. And then you have go off. Now, what is go off? It means ring. So as you can see the phone, I have set the alarm clock to go off at 6 a.m. And we have a sleep through. It means to sleep continuously for a really long time. I slept right through till lunchtime. And then you have this child. It should have been an adult. So it says here, delay. When you delay making a decision until the following day, you don't want to rush to make a decision. So you want to take your time. So we have sleep on it and we'll talk tomorrow. Okay. That's it. Sleep on it. And then you have a doze off. Doze off. Now, doze off, it means go to sleep, especially when you did not intend to. Now, says, sorry, I must have dozed off for a few minutes. And then we have lie down. So we can all see some, you have some, with the phrasal verbs, these are just some of the pictures that are being used to make examples. You have lie down, rest on your back. So you can see the guy is relaxing on his sofa. He lay down on the sofa and soon fell asleep. And then we have stay up. Now, stay up means to go to bed later than usual. So we stayed up half the night talking. Now, here you have drop off, like I mentioned earlier, fall asleep without intending to. Go to sleep, especially when you did not intend to. Now, we're going to look at page 4, just a second. And now these are just some expressions. These are just some really useful English words to talk about sleep. Now, sleep, we all need it. Each and every one of us, everyone sleeps. And after such a hard and difficult day, you were all looking forward to it. So once you get home, or even after you have had such an exhausting day, you want to sleep or you want to take a rest. Now, we're going to talk about some words, really useful words that can describe sleep, describe rest, or when you're lacking, when you don't have enough sleep. So let's say we're gonna start with ways of saying how you're going to rest during the day. I'm sure you're all gonna find this really useful. Now, take a look at this. If someone says, I'm going to take a cat nap, it doesn't mean anything that has to do with a cat. It just means that you're going to go for a rest. But the reason why we're using cat is because cats, they sleep a lot. So when you think about it, it says, how often do cats nap? A lot. Actually, if some of us who watch, I don't know, let's say documentary about animals, there was one that I saw and it says lions, they sleep almost 18 hours a day, and they're also part of the cat family. And even those of us that have cats, they always sleep. Cats, they sleep for a really long time. Now, another way of saying you're taking a nap is I'm going to grab a little short eye. I'm going to grab a little short eye. I want you to look at it. This is on page 4. Now, the first one is if someone, when you hear this, or usually in movies, or usually when you're watching series, wherever you hear this, it's really common among native speakers. So they say, I'm going to take a cat nap. It means they are going to go for a rest. And this is another one. I am going to grab a little short eye. So it's quite simple. Means I just want to rest. You close your eyes for a little bit of time. That's what it means. And then we have another one. It's talking about power nap. Now, what is a power nap? It means it's just a really useful way of getting a bit of energy back into your body. You know, when, like I said, you are really exhausted, or even there are times when you have, when you're working, or you're even when you're at your place of work and you have break time, you just say, okay, just sleep for a little bit of time. And it's you notice after sleeping for, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes, you start to feel really good and you feel good about yourself. But basically, what it means, it's a short 30 to 40 minutes nap is really better and more energizing than even 1 or 2 hour sleep. So that's what it means. A power nap, a useful way of getting a bit of energy back into your body. Now, I want us to look at this one. We have now, when you're ready to go to sleep, and then you can also say you're ready to turn in, turn in for the night, or you're ready to hit the sack. This one, hit the sack or turn in for the night, as you can see here. It simply means you're going to bed. That's what it means. And you might also say you want to catch some zzz. But the ones that is really more easier to say is turn in for the night or hit the sack. Now, the letter C is often used in a bubble over someone's head. And if you notice when you're chatting with people, there's this emoticon in your phone, and it shows this smiley with a short eye, and there's a lot of blue Z's. This is what it means when you tell someone good night, and then this emoticon it appears. So to catch some Z's when they're sleeping. Okay, now I want us to take a look at. So before we go to the next page, like I said, this is we have these are useful words to talk about sleep. And we have the first one. I'm going to take a cat nap. I'm going to take a cat nap. And then you have, I'm going to grab a little short eye. And a short eye, like I said, it means to shut your eye for a little bit of time. And then you have a power nap. A power nap is talking about it's a quick and also useful way to get some energy into your body, and it's usually for 30 minutes or more. Way more useful, way more energizing than even 1 to 2 hours sleep. And we talked about turning for the night, or you're ready to hit the sack. Means you're going to bed. Now we're going to go to page 5, and now we're going to look at a few words. Just a second. Now, lastly, what we have is when you've had a rough day at work, or you have a lot on your mind, because there are some periods in our life when we experience things like this. You might not be able to fall asleep, or you can't get a wink of sleep, meaning it's difficult for you to sleep, or you can't sleep at all. So maybe you can sleep, but you're a light sleeper. So there are two kinds of people. We call them heavy sleepers, light sleepers. And light sleepers means someone who is easily woken by a little sound. Heavy sleepers, they just even if an earthquake is happening, they're still fast asleep. Now, sometimes when we don't get enough sleep, it shows we can get grumpy. What is grumpy? Grumpy means when you're irritable, you're not in a good mood, and you just wake up and you're angry. you're not happy about some things. You don't feel satisfied because you probably didn't get a good night's rest. And then people will ask you and say, "Oh, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?" That's what it means. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Basically, it means, did you sleep well? Now, we have another one. It says, after a day of hard work or having had no sleep the night before, so you will hopefully be out like a light or asleep very quickly, just like the flick of a light switch. So we're going to go through this again. Now, when you've had a difficult day at work, it was hard, it was exhausting, you have a lot of you had a lot on your mind. So it's really possible that you might not be able to fall asleep, or you can't. So we usually use can't get a wink of sleep. A wink. It means you can't sleep at all, having difficulty sleeping. Now, we talked about light sleepers. These are people who are easily woken by any sound. And then when we don't get enough sleep and you wake up, it shows we can get grumpy. This word grumpy. Grumpy means you're not in a good mood. Grumpy means you're irritable. So you can shout at someone when someone does something that you don't like, and you talk to people. You express, you become really annoyed or angry about any little thing. And then people say, "Did you wake up," which is here, "on the wrong side of the bed?" Now, after you've really worked hard, or you say after a hard day's work, or you didn't sleep well the previous night, so it means you'll hopefully be out like a light or asleep very quickly, just like the flick of a light switch. What is a light switch? It's what you have in your house, and it's like a button. You press it, and the light goes on and off. And then we have here. This is talking about some example basic grammar. We have used to. Now, used to is to show that a particular thing always happened or was true in the past, but it's no longer happens or is no longer true now. For example, when you say, as you can see, David used to live in Madrid. Madrid is the capital of Spain. She used to exercise every morning, but since she had that terrible accident, she doesn't exercise anymore. Why don't you come and see me like you used to? Because now, used to basically is talking about habits we all had previously, and then these are habits that we have dropped, or we don't, or things that we don't do anymore. Now, there are some forms of used to. We talk about interrogative. Interrogative is basically talking about, asking questions about certain things that we do. We have affirmative. It means to confirm that things are actually true. Then you have the negative forms of used to. And the first one is did. Usually when you want to ask questions regarding used to, we say, did you used to exercise regularly? And then you give details. It says, yes, I used to go jogging nearly every day. Nearly every day. It's still the same thing as almost every day. And then we talked about the last one. It says, no, I didn't used to exercise on a regular basis. Regular means something that happens as a regime that has no interruption, like maybe let's say 2 or 3 times a week. So one more time, we'll go through the grammar. Was used to. It's talking about basically habits or things that always happened or was true about you in the past, but it no longer happens or is no longer true Now, for example, I used to work at the supermarket 2 years ago, but now I work with an airline company. That's an example. And we have some basic examples here. David used to live in Madrid. She used to exercise every morning, but since she had that terrible accident, she doesn't exercise anymore. So that's still talking about used to. And then when you want to ask questions, as you can see, forms of used to, you always construct your questions with did you used to exercise regularly? And then say, yes, I used to go jogging nearly every day. Or used to, then the negative is no, I didn't used to exercise on a regular basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some form of discussion. And first, we're going to try to talk about sleeping habits based on the examples that we had here. As you can see with this pretty little girl, just a second. So, which is Sleeping Beauty. And there's actually a story, or how will I say, a Disney fairy tale called Sleeping Beauty. So we're going to have a discussion with some of the students here, and then we'll try to make examples talking about our sleeping habits with wake up, get up, and so on. All right, now, and let me try to change it. Now, I would like you guys I want someone to say something. Let me go through the names, and then we have someone here. Okay, and I'm seeing someone's name is called Sergey. Yes, hello, Sergey, can you hear me? Okay, Sergey, can you say something? So let me see if you can hear me. I can hear you. Let me try to change the settings so you should be able to talk. Try to say something, Sergey, if I can hear you. Just try to say something. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Okay, if Sergey, I can't hear you, so we'll try to take someone else. Let's look at Daniel. Daniel, can you hear me? Yes, I just saw someone. Okay, it's talking. This is
Zina. Zinaida,
Oh,
yes.
Zina. Okay, Zina.
Zina,
Hello,
yes.
Zina.
Hello.
Okay, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. So, Zina, we're talking about phrasal verbs, and I would like you could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About myself or about my habits and my habits about sleeping?
Okay, so let's get straight to the point. So, could you tell us about your sleeping habits? What time do you wake up?
Okay. For example, when I was younger, I used to get up at 9 o'clock maybe, but now I get up at 6 o'clock every working day. But when I have a rest, I can get up maybe near 10 o'clock.
Okay, 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. And so since you wake up at 10 o'clock now, so that is 10 in the morning, if I'm correct.
10 a.m., yes.
Okay, 10 a.m. Okay, so and what time do you go to bed?
Oh, it's a very hard question because maybe near 12 o'clock p.m. But sometimes it can be very very поздно. I cannot I don't remember.
Okay, late.
Late, yes, thank you, very late.
Okay. Right. So basically, I would say your sleeping hours, you sleep for about, let's say 7 hours, right?
No, sometimes it's maybe 5 or 6 hours. It's very bad, I know, but it's my life.
Okay. And have you ever had an incident where you dozed off at work? You know the meaning of doze off?
Doze off, sorry, I can't remember. Could you show me?
So this is it. Can you see my screen?
Doze off. Ah, yes.
Or drop off. So let's
drop
look
off
at
maybe. Yes, drop off. Sometimes yes. Sometimes I kept drop off, but not at my desk. Maybe at my sofa. Desk. It's very strange.
So it means that once you come back from work, you just drop off at your sofa. Yes.
Sometimes yes, especially when very hot, the weather is very hot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So do you think that would you say you're having enough sleep?
Would I say no? I don't have enough sleep. If I correct understand you, I think if you won't feel you better, you should sleep near 8 or 9 o'clock maybe.
Okay, that is 8 or 9 hours, right?
Hours, yes. Sorry, thank you. Hours, yes.
Okay. All right. And so, but my question to you, Zina, was, are you having enough sleep? Would you say you're having enough sleep?
Are you having enough sleep? It means
it means that do you think that you're sleeping enough? Because you say you
yes, and then I answered that I think I don't have I am not having enough sleep. Or did you ask me about future or no? Maybe I cannot understand. What do you mean?
Okay, so
about my regular everyday sleeping. What do you mean? Yes.
No, I was just Zina. I was asking you if if you would agree that, or would you say your sleeping habits is okay for you? Because
no, I think it's not okay because as I said, I sleep near maybe 5 or 6 hours, but I think that's good when you sleep near 8 or 9 hours. So I think I have bad habit. And I should improve my sleeping habit.
Okay, all right. So thank you, Zina. So we're going to go to another. We're going to go to another student. So let's look at, for example, someone is writing. So Gregory, can you hear me? Hello. Hello, Gregory.
Grigory, hello, Michael.
Yes. So how are you, Gregory?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So I would like us to, so today we're talking about sleep.
Yeah.
Our topic was sleeping beauty. So the question is, it's how many, what time do you wake up?
I wake up at 7 o'clock.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and I have about 7 hours of sleeping.
Oh, okay. And so Gregory, would you say that it's enough for you, sleeping 7 hours every day?
Yes, it's enough for me.
Okay. And what time do you go to bed?
Approximately at 12 o'clock.
Okay, 12 o'clock. So that's about, let's say, 7 hours, give or take. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you work at the weekends? Let's say Saturday and Sunday.
Sometimes yes, but not usual.
Okay. And okay, when you don't work during the weekends, what time do you wake up?
Approximately at the same time, because my organize my body is enough for sleeping these hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to do a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
during my weekend.
Okay. And have you had, so Gregory, have you had an incident where you slept off, you dropped off at your work? Maybe you went to work and then all of a sudden you dropped off at your desk. You know, as you can see, this guy is he's dozing already, he's sleeping.
I think we we have this situation when we were a student, uh,
Okay.
when we uh, didn't have enough time for sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
and during our lecture we could drop off
Right.
for some times.
Okay. Okay, interesting. And now, just one more question before you go. Has there been, and usually when you want to make an important decision, okay, Gregory, do you sleep on it when you have an important decision to make, or you just uh, make a decision at once?
Could you repeat, please, the question?
Okay, so I want you to take a look at this picture. The now take a
Yes.
look at it. It's talking about sleep. Sleep on it. So if when you have an important decision, okay, an important thing to an important matter that needs you to make a decision, do you sleep on it? Do you say, okay, I need to sleep on it, and tomorrow I'll make a decision about it?
About delay making a decision until the following day.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Do you sleep on any decision that you want to make, or you just make your decision at once?
I prefer to do such things um, at once,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can do it, I mm, would not to delay these things for the next day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right then. So thank you for your information and thank you, Gregory.
Thank
So yeah, we're gonna go to another person just and let's see. And we have someone we're gonna take. Um, I'm seeing someone called Anastasia uh, Bekic. Hello, hello, Anastasia. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, so I guess Anastasia can't hear me. So we'll take a person. So this is talking about Olga. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Olga. So nice to hear from you. And we're still talking about sleep, Olga. And
Um,
could you tell us what time do you wake up? What is
Okay. Now I work at home, and that's why I wake up at 9 a.m.
And what time do you start work?
And I start work at 10 a.m. Yeah.
All right. And, is it comfortable for you now? So now you wake up at 9 a.m. and then you start work at 10.
Yeah, it is very comfortable for me because I used to wake up at 7 o'clock, and it is more difficult for me, I think.
Okay. And now, so when you wake up at 9, I believe. Okay. So what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 12 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Olga. And do you work at the weekends?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Do you work at the weekends? Like let's say Saturday or Sundays?
I understand. All of my colleagues work at home, and I work at в определенное время, in current time.
Yes.
And my colleague can work at another time, but we have one project, and sometimes I should to answer to my colleague, and maybe at weekends, because they can work at weekends, and
Okay.
no, I stay at home all the time, and it is not uncomfortable for me, but I should work all time.
Okay.
Maybe like that.
All right. So I see. I understand. So do you usually take what we call now? Remember in the last we were talking about some useful words. So have you had an incident, or do you take power naps? You know, a power nap, as you can see here, this is where you sleep for, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes just to get, energy, to regain, to get your strength back. Do you take power naps? Hello? Hello, Olga? Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm here.
Okay. So do you take power naps? A power nap, so Olga, so let me try to explain it to you again. A power nap, okay, it's quick, okay, it's a really fast way, or let me just put it in basic terms. It's a way of getting energy, okay? You sleep for, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes just to feel good about yourself, just to feel better.
I think no, I sleep only at night, and all day I in active. I'm active.
Okay, so you're active.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, Olga, for your for your answers. So we're going to move to someone else. I appreciate it. So we're going to look at another person, and this is 1 second. So this is Dimitri. Excuse me if I can't pronounce your names correctly. So, but I can see Dimitri.
Okay. It's me.
Yes,
Nice
hello.
to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, Dimitri.
Okay. Great.
Hello, Dimitri, once again, and we're still talking about sleep.
Okay.
And now, I want you to, could you tell us what your sleep routine is? What time do you wake up every day? What time?
It depends. Mostly I wake up at 7 o'clock, yeah, and then I just do the same thing every morning, yeah.
Okay.
Just washing, yeah, my teeth, make some morning exercises, yeah, then have breakfast, and now, yes, everybody I work offline or online, but offsite, yeah. So I just started work at 9 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, so you wake up at 7 in the morning, yes?
Yeah, yeah,
And then
mostly.
you start working at 9. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And so, so what time do you go to bed? What time?
Sorry, what time?
Yes, what time do you go to bed?
I'm going to bed. It depends. Maybe at 11 o'clock or at 12. At midnight. Yeah. Sometimes if there is something interesting, there is such a problem. If you just find something interesting in the internet, yeah, you could just stick on this ish, and you could just lay down later, yeah.
And all right, so it means that there are times when you stay up late. It means that so you go to bed at 12, or sometimes it could be past 12, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it could be.
Uh, so, so Dimitri, so one more, just two more questions before we go. During the day, do you do you take a cat nap? Remember we talked about taking a cat nap.
Yeah,
It means you're going to rest during the day.
yeah. I'd like sometimes. Yeah, I just when at home it is a good opportunity to have a short rest. Yeah, during the day. Yeah, I
Okay.
think now it is great. Yeah, just could make a break and some short sleep. Yeah.
Yes. And do you, okay, so has this ever happened to you when you were at work and then you doze off? If you look at the picture, Dima, you can see drop
Yeah.
off. Has it ever happened to you where you dropped off?
Yeah, I think I think it happened. Sometimes I just uh, I have to dust off. Yeah,
Okay.
because yeah, especially when you had dinner. Yeah, so after the dinner, it is just you go sleep. Yeah, you go sleep, and yeah, for a few minutes, I think I just sitting down and just close my eyes, and behind the monitor, I could sleep for a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And all right, so Dimitri, so thank you for your answers and for answering my questions. So we'll try to take one more person before we go. And I'd like us to 1 second. We're going to talk to another lady, and this is going to be just a second. It's Lositskaya Yanina. Hello, Yana or Yanina? Can you hear me?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Yanina. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's good. And so, we're still talking about sleep. Sleeping Beauty, that's the title. So, what time, Yanina, could you tell us what time you wake up every day?
So I'm a student, so I'm in the 11th form. So when I have to study, I wake up usually at half past 7. So, but when I'm at home and
Right.
at weekends, I wake up maybe 10 o'clock.
Okay. So you wake up at 10 o'clock during the weekends?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe later.
And maybe later.
Yes.
Okay, so that is, so when you wake up, you're just sleeping.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And Yanina, what time do you go to bed? What time?
It depends. So when I have to wake up early, I go to bed maybe at 11 o'clock. But when I know that tomorrow I can sleep, I can sleep longer, so I can go to bed at 12.
Right. Okay. And so basically, would you say how many hours are you sleeping? How many hours do you sleep every day?
Yeah, I try to sleep about 8 hours a day, because if I sleep about 7 or 6 hours a day, I feel exhausted during the whole day.
And would you like to sleep more?
Of course, as every person, I would like to sleep more.
Okay. And has there been an incident? Remember, just to take a look at 1 second. As you can see from this picture here, this is just the phrasal verbs. It's all about sleep.
Okay.
Have you had an incident where you dropped off in class, maybe when the teacher was teaching?
Likely, no, I haven't, but I think that I was near it to drop off.
So it almost happened.
Almost, but it
didn't.
It didn't, yes.
Okay. And what about do you stay up late at night, past your bedtime? Does it happen frequently?
So can you repeat your question?
Okay. Do you stay up past your bedtime? Let's say your bedtime is 11 p.m. And then you decide to, stay a bit later than usual.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Maybe when I have something interesting, when I want to watch a film or to read a book, and this moment is very interesting and next thing, and you just, oh no, one more minute or one more page, and yes, it happens that you go to bed later.
Okay. So, all right, one more question, Yanina. So, does this happen to you? Maybe when you just come back, when you come, let's say you get home, when you arrive home, and you just look at this guy. He lay down on the sofa and soon fell asleep. You just landed on the bed and you just
To have a nap after a working day? Or
yes.
what do you mean? Yes, yes. It happens very often when you're very exhausted, but you need to study, to read some books, to do your home tasks, and you just lay in the bed, on the bed, and sometimes I can read a book and fall asleep.
Okay.
During reading the book.
When you're reading the book?
Yes, or during doing my home task.
Okay. All right, I see. So once again, I would say thank you for answering my questions, Yanina. And so we're going to try to take one more person. And this time, let's try to, we're going to look for a guy. And this is, just a minute. Okay, so I can see someone called Daniel. Hello, Daniel? Hello? Hello, Daniel, can you hear me? Okay, so there's one more person. We tried to talk to her before. Her name was Anastasia Bekic. Hello, can you hear me? Nastia.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Nastia. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Okay, so we're talking about sleep, and were you listening to our discussions?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I want you to tell me what time do you wake up every day?
Usually I wake up at 11 o'clock, but now during these hard times when I spend a lot of time at home, I can wake up later and maybe at 10 o'clock or later.
All right. And are you a student or you're working?
Yes, I'm a student, but I study at my studying started at 2 o'clock 2 p.m.
Okay.
So
And,
I have possibility to sleep more.
okay. And so you wake up at 7, if I'm correct, yes?
Sorry?
You said you wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning.
At 9 usually.
9 in the morning.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And what time do you go to bed?
Oh, I stay up for a long time and usually at 2 o'clock or something like that.
Okay. All right. So I see. And one more. So we're going to try to talk about some habits. Okay. So Nastia, we talked about used to, and so I'll just try to tell you, the basic form of it. Used to is we use it to talk about something that happened or was true in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, was there anything that you used to do before, but you don't do anymore?
While I was a pupil, I used to wake up at 7 o'clock and to go to my bed at maybe 11 or 10 o'clock in the evening. But now my schedule is differ from the time when I was a pupil.
Okay. All right. And one more thing is, do you study at the weekends?
At weekends?
Yes, Saturday or Sunday.
No, I usually sleep at weekends as long as I do during the week. But while I, in the summer, for example, when we have exams, I sleep less, and I'm happy if I can sleep even 5 o'clock or so on.
So that is to say, you sleep in, so past your usual time, because you wake up at 9, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Has there been an incident when you went to school last year and you dropped off at your desk?
No, I can't remember. It's take for me some time to fall asleep, so that's why it's never happened to me.
Okay.
And I never. Sorry, I look for one phrasal verb.
Yes, so let's take a look at them. We have loads of them. So, for example,
I never slept in because I usually wake up during the sound of my alarm, and it's easy for me to get up from my bed and start to do all the things that I need. So, for example, my brother, he had such a problem. I mean, sleep in, but it's never happened to me.
Okay. So would you say that you're sleeping, you're having enough sleep?
Yes, I guess, but as I mentioned before, during the session when we have exams, I sleep very less than usual, and sometimes I need a power nap to get more energy.
Right. So power naps, you find them useful?
Yes, sometimes I just need 20 or 30 minutes, and then I feel more, and I feel that I have more energy than before.
Oh, okay. All right. And so I would say that's all for now, Nastya, and thank you for answering my questions.
Yes, thank you for this very useful and informative lesson.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So we'll take one more person before we go. And
Okay,
let's see.
thank you.
Yes, we have 1 second. I can see Sergey, Malishko Sergey. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, yes, I hear you.
Okay, hello Sergey, how are you?
Thanks, not bad.
Okay, so we're talking about sleep, but
Okay.
yes. So Sergey, can you tell us what time do you wake up? Every day, what time do you wake up? What's your usual routine?
Usually I wake up at 20 past 7 a.m. In the morning.
Okay, in the morning. Okay, and what time do you go to bed?
Go to bed. I go to bed 1 o'clock a.m.
And yes,
near 1 o'clock, maybe 30 past 12, maybe midnight, but usually near 1 o'clock a.m.
Oh, okay. So how many hours do you sleep in general? So would you say is it 7 or 8 hours a day?
Unfortunately, I sleep about 7 o'clock.
That is 7 hours, yes?
So 7 hours, sorry, 7 hours.
Okay.
In holiday, I sleep more than 7 hours, 8 or 9 o'clock.
Okay. And do you work at weekends?
So, excuse me?
Okay, so at the weekends, let's say on Saturday, Sunday, do you work on Saturday and Sundays?
Yeah.
Do you
Weekend.
walk? Yeah.
Yes, weekend is Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday. Saturday and Sunday.
And so that is you don't work on these days, right?
Sorry, sound is not very well. I don't understand.
Okay, let me repeat the question. So, Sergey, do you walk on Saturdays and Sundays?
No, I didn't walk. I don't walk on Saturday. I usually I have different homework. Homework, but I don't work at the weekend.
Okay, so you don't work it. So you sleep in.
And I can sleep a lot of them usually.
Okay. All right, Sergey. So thank you for your answers. And we'll take one more person before we round up the program. So we're going to go through the names, and I can see 1 second. So we have Irina. Hello, Irina, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, so Irina, so we're talking about sleep.
Yes.
And could you tell me what time do you wake up every day?
I usually wake up about 6 o'clock in working day. And if it's weekend, I usually get up about 8 or 9.
Okay. And what time do you go to bed?
In working day, I'll go to bed about 11 or 10 p.m. and on weekends it can be 12 or 1 a.m.
Okay. And basically, how many hours do you sleep a day?
About 8 hours.
Okay.
8 or 7
8
hours.
hours. 7 hours.
Yes.
And would you say, have you had an incident where you went to work? Of course, I know everyone is working, remotely right now because of what is happening. So, have you had an incident where you dropped off? If you look at this picture at work.
Drop off at work? No, I usually don't do it. It's not about me.
Okay.
But I would like to do it, but I can't.
Okay. All right. So thank you for your questions, Irina, and thank you for your answers. So for everyone that's tuned in today, I want to say thank you all for tuning into today's lessons, and I appreciate it. And once again, so this lesson, it was organized by us. It's more like it's free of charge, so it's not there's no payment for it, and it's talking about sleep. And I hope that you will all find this really useful, because if you look at it, the topic was called Sleeping Beauty. And like I said before the lesson, when we started the lesson, there's actually a story, or there's actually a fairy tale, Disney. It's called Sleeping Beauty. So I want you all to try to remember some of these useful phrases. Wake up, get up, lie down, sleep in. And here's this picture. I think it will really help you to understand phrasal verbs related to sleep. So, and which is like sleep on it. It's talking about when you have an important decision to make and you decide to wait till the next day. Doze off, as you can see from the picture, when you don't intend to. So, and stay up, it means go to bed later than usual and sleep through, sleep continuously for a long time. Drop off, you're at work, you fall asleep easily without intending to. So thank you all. I really appreciate all of you coming in, and see you guys on Tuesday, same time, 6 o'clock. And be safe and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you and bye.
I was waiting for you. Say, Irina, ja,